Hello, Credilife family. Mark Brooks here with you and excited to be on this Monday's live. We're on a special live, but I want to ask you something. When we want to talk about something, right? Have you been stressed about your financial wellness? Have you been living paycheck to paycheck? I've had a lot of people say, I don't even know where to start. So I'm super, super excited to bring on the Credilife co-founder and CEO, Jared Havens here. Say hello to Jared. Say hello, Jared.
Hello, everybody.
We're excited to rock it out and talk to you more about the action steps, the mindset that you're going to need to get further, faster in credit without the pain and headache of trial and error. And I'm super excited to have you guys on. Chaz gave a like to this. Appreciate that, Chaz.
Whoop, whoop.
Also, we got a like from Kelly Havens. Rock on.
Oh,
So,
that's my dad. Hello,
yeah.
Dad.
Awesome to
Love
have
it.
you on here. Appreciate that. As you guys come in, we want you guys to interact and mingle and ask questions. So we're super excited to answer your questions. We're going to be doing a Q&A, so don't be afraid to ask whatever questions you have because we have one of the credit geniuses on with us right now. So, Jared, I'm going to let you
Yeah.
take it over. Let's jump into some stuff here.
Yeah. Hopefully we got some people jumping in here. We can, we definitely want to engage with whoever's watching in tonight's live. We want you to add comments, share this, because the more people that we can get on this live, the more views it's going to get and the more people we can help. And tonight's topic, I'm so excited. I don't get to be on these as often as Mark and Jeremy and the other coaches. A lot of times the clients get to work with me when they're in the program, which is really fun. So a lot of people might see me in Credilife VIP a lot, and I work very closely with all of our active clients in the program. I've been doing this now for close to 10 years. I love working with clients. My favorite thing about what we do is love to solve problems. And to me, there's a personal just fulfillment feeling I get when I'm helping clients reach their goals and keeping them consistent along the way, all the way to the end game. That to me is what I personally love doing. And that's a big reason why now, as a CEO, I'm doing a lot of things for the company and the growth, but I still am active working with our clients every day with my team, which is really fun. So I don't know. I can't really see. I know we're in a few different things. Anyone jumped in yet? Working with our clients every day with my team, which is
Yeah, we've got LaDonna on here. She gave a like.
oh, awesome.
And so definitely filling up as we go along here. So,
Cool.
yeah, as people come in, I guess we can just kind of talk about some of the things clients deal with, right?
Let's do it.
What are we seeing out there? I know you said you're a problem solver. So let's go into some of the things that, some of the problems that we really help people overcome.
Yeah, I think it's so important. I mean, one thing that I love so much about what we do is I call it the human element. When we're working with our clients, we get it. We're not looking at you like a number ever. And I think there's clients who might be, when they're in the program, they get a little hesitant to ask questions sometimes because they feel like, they're the experts. I can't say. No, we are literally here to help you along the way. Like, we're on your side, right? We're on the same team as you. No judgment, just problem solving, motivation, and helping. But when you think about what people go through, and this is a lot of people, so don't feel shame for this, but think about it. All the time I've talked to clients. I mean, think of this scenario. Who can understand this? You're walking to get, you're in the grocery store, you're just getting a bunch of stuff at Target, you get in the line, right now it's extra long because of COVID and social distancing, so you're having to wait a while, and you finally get up there, and it's like you're getting your stuff there, and they're like, hey, do you want to get the Target red card 5% back right now if you just apply? Or you're at Kohl's or any place. People literally who are going through bad credit, that's like a little scary for people. It's like, oh, no, I can't, I don't want to apply, right? It's like things like that. Or on a larger scale, I mean, think about it here. You're a you're, if it's me, let's say, I have a wife and I have a young kid on the way, or a baby on the way, and I'm in a small townhome, and it's like, we don't have enough room. What are we going to do? And your credit is holding you back from being approved for a mortgage. Imagine that. I mean, a lot of people go through that. The stress involved when it comes to bad credit. There's so much information out there right now. Before, in the past, when I was in this, a lot of people, there wasn't a lot of information about credit out there. Now you're almost bombarded. You have all these free scores out there. Discover, gives a score. CreditWise, Capital One, Credit Karma is really popular, and all these different things. So now people are literally bombarded with credit scores and credit, and yet the information almost every single time is either confusing or wrong. It's not really providing you any direction at all in what you actually need to do to get help. I mean, none of that's there. You're just kind of like confused and you almost want to just give up, right? A lot of people are like, well, you know what? I've been doing it as is like this. Maybe I'll just keep renting. We have no choice. We're stuck. I mean, what type of things do you hear from your clients, Mark?
I've heard all the above. The walls are closing in. I'm 5 months pregnant, whatever the case might be. We need to move.
Yep.
I got one last week. Hey, my in laws, surprisingly, they're moving in with me, or my parents are moving with me, or something like that. Some of the
Yep.
most touching ones that, not to get too heavy or anything like that, but, we are not just coaches. And I was talking to Rick about this earlier.
Yeah.
We're just not, it's not just credit. It's so much more than credit. And I have had situations to where domestic violence was an issue and said, I can only, I
Yeah.
don't know how much longer I can take this. And a client literally, she said, she's like, I might be able to stand it for 2 or 3 years. And I said, well, how about 6 to 9 months? And she said that would just broke down in tears. I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
type of stuff we deal with. So your
Yep.
financial wellness affects everything. And so
Everything.
some of those deeper struggles, when I ask people about their goal all the time, and Jared knows this, I want to get a house. Well, why do you want to get a
Yep.
house? What is the deeper root of that? You want to get a house, cool, but you
Exactly.
don't want to just get a house. What's in that house? What's that creating? What does a 700 credit score plus create? Is that your kids not walking through metal detectors in the halls? Is that you're not, for lack of a better term, being abused for a certain amount of time because now you can stand on your own and leave? Like, we got people
Yep.
in crazy situations, you got people in less crazy situations, but
Yep.
everybody has a deep rooted why.
Well, and everyone's situation is different, right? Everyone's situation is their own. And, that's why it's so important. I'm glad you brought that up. It's so important to have goals. And more importantly, when it comes to that, is yes, you could say, I want to be approved for a mortgage. I want to buy a new car. I want to start a business. I want to just be better with my finances, right? These are like my goals, right? But what you brought up is so key. Why? What is it that drives you? Why do you want to buy a home? Is it like we talked about earlier? Is it because your family's growing, right? And you need more space? Or you've been renting, and obviously rent has been very high for a long time now in most places. So people are stuck paying these higher rents and they don't want to do that anymore. They're seeing this historically low interest rates and they're like, look, I want to buy a home. I want to pay the low
Right.
interest rates, right? I want these things. And so it's like you got to find out why. What's driving you to these things? That to me is so key. Like anytime that we're working with clients, I always let them know this is an investment in your success. This is not a credit repair program. This is a program specifically designed to help you repair your past, strategically build credit for your future, help you understand how to manage debt better, and then more importantly, achieve your goals, achieve your greens. That's what the Credilife program is. It's so much more. And so our clients, once they realize that, which they typically realize that after the consult, right? The consult with you guys is so amazing. We take our time with every client for a reason so we can understand what it is that you're going through and what it is that you want. And then we can put together the plan to get you there, right? But you got to be motivated to do those things. You need to know what your goals are and why.
Love that. So let's continue on with this. Let's start off with people telling us, if you're watching, let us know what your goals are. I appreciate
Yep.
LaDonna jumping in here. Kids having their own room, have
I
two
love that.
special needs kids. We want something left for them once they're gone, and actually, or once we're
That's
gone.
amazing. I love that.
Love it. And Rick and I were talking about this earlier. We had a great conversation about goals. And I think that's kind of Jared and everybody's kind of been leading on this path. And he had a client who, we kind of come back around. They say, I want a home. We'll go through more of the consultation. Then we'll find out, well, what are you going to do with that home? Why? And
Yep.
LaDonna said it, and Rick's client said it verbatim yesterday. I want to leave a legacy. I want
That's
my kids to have
amazing.
something when I'm gone. And
Yep.
LaDonna knows this. My family has special needs kids as well. I guess they're not kids anymore because they're older than I am. But, it takes a lot, especially in that space. It's a
Yep.
lot. And I mean, mom made a dollar stretch like you'd never believe. She could do amazing things with money. And I'm sure LaDonna has learned so many things that's helping them and their family. Those are the goals that we're trying to get to because that why
Yes.
is what's going to carry you. Legacy, things stronger than what what that home is. You
Yep.
know, what's in
Yep.
that home? What type of energy? What's that going to leave? How's that going to change your life is what we want to know. Tanya, thank
Yep.
you so much for joining us here. She says hello.
Hey,
We
Tanya.
got Crystal on here. She says, ready for our own home.
Woohoo! I
No
love
more
it,
renting.
Crystal.
Rock on. The
Love it.
FCRA is on fire. If you guys are not in the FCRA, join us in the free credit repair advice group. And once again,
Yep.
as we're going through this, please mix, mingle, and let us know now what your goals are because we want to hear those. And we want to hear that deep
Yes.
rooted goal,
Let's
why
take
you
time.
want it.
Yeah, I want to hear more from people. I just love it because just the other day, for any of you that are on that are in the Credilife VIP program, the other day, I think about 2 weeks ago, I had a question in the VIP group for our clients in there, and I said, what are you looking to accomplish? Are you and I did a poll, right? What's more important to you? Getting something deleted off your credit report or being pre-approved for a mortgage? And the vast majority said be pre-approved for a mortgage. That's why I'm so excited to get into more details tonight and allow Q&A a little bit later for everyone to ask questions because we're going to break it down as to how you get there. A lot of times when people get introduced to credit repair, they think they're seeing all this information and realizing there's opportunity, which is good, but then they feel like, well, that's the answer, that's the solution, then I need to
Yes.
repair my credit. But the thing is, that's part of the solution. That's the big difference, so I want to hear from people. Let's take our time with this. What are your goals? I want to hear more about your goals. What's driving you and why? We want to hear the why behind it.
That's exactly what we're going to dive into. And thank you so much for those people who are jumping on here and participating because this is absolutely huge. We want you to encourage others as well, especially in this crazy pandemic time, political time. We want to learn more about you and share the love and the help and community of reaching your goal. We got 70,000 members in a group who are helping
Woo,
each other and pushing each other to
I
reach those
love that.
goals every day. Tanya says grandchildren being able to play in a safe backyard and able to visit the Nini. That's me. Love that.
Yes, I
And
love that.
have their own space. Nini,
Love that.
continue rocking it. Absolutely love that. That's huge, right? And
Yep.
we spend time on this for a reason because I don't think people spend enough time on this, right? Goals and methodology is something that people don't know how to dive into deep enough to get a true understanding of it. And sometimes people don't know their end goal. And I know Jared can attest to this, the other coaches can attest to this as well, is mindset and goals can change over time. People who I just want to get a car realize that once they get their car that their ultimate goal might be getting a home or
Yep.
believing that they could leave a legacy. We got people in underserved communities, whatever the case might be, and they never thought that they'd get a car,
Well, think about it like
or
this.
anything else.
Yeah, this gets me excited. So think about it like this. Anytime, I mean, everyone that's listening to this right now, think about it. Anytime that you've had a goal, right? And you've put forth effort to achieve that goal, how did you feel along the way? When you start getting closer to your goal and you start to see progress. I love to compare what we do to the fitness and diet industry. Let's say you want to lose weight, right? And you start implementing, I'm working out 3 days a week, I'm eating better, I'm getting sleep. And at first it's hard, right? Especially if those aren't your ingrained habits. It's hard change, right? And a lot of times, we're looking for our society, we want some results quickly, right? That's just natural. And what happens is for the people that stick through it, they start to lose weight, right? Well, when you start to lose weight, you get a little bit more motivated because you start to realize, oh, the actions I'm taking right now are getting me closer to my goal. You get more motivated. Same thing when it comes to credit and financial wellness. A lot of us, one, are not taught this as we grow up at all. It's not in schools. It's not, most parents, especially in the past, didn't really teach on it because it wasn't as prevalent as it is today. You know what I mean? So it's very different. Most people raised did not know much about credit. And it's very easy to have credit issues, life events, right? A divorce, medical. I call them life events. Usually something happened that caused a negative impact to their credit because of an event that they're trying to recover from, right? Maybe it was loss of job. It could be we just had a hurricane. I mean, things like that happen, right? But what I wanted to talk about there is and kind of bring it back is that when you overcome those things and you realize, okay, I need to make some changes here, as soon as you start to see the positive impact of your scores improving, your credit profile improving, now, as Mark said, you got that car, you're naturally going to start thinking about, well, what else can I do? That's the exciting part. I've achieved and accomplished this. What else can I do? Well, maybe I want to buy the home now. I want to work towards that. I want to better my financial position. I want to better my credit. I want to manage my debts better now because I understand the power of why I'm doing that, right? It all plays a huge role. Employment. I bring this up a lot. Managing your debt and improving your credit, one, improves your chances for better employment. A lot of them pull credit. But on the mental side of it, the mindset side of it, the more driven you get to achieving your goals in this type of program, I'm telling you right now, is going to open up doors for other things for you as well, because your mindset is shifting, your motivation is shifting, and you start to realize you can do more. That's the part that I love so much. It's just when you see that happen with clients, and all of a sudden they got the house and they're coming back and saying, "I want to start a business." Especially now in COVID times, even though this has been like a crazy year, and a lot of people have gone through a lot, there's been a lot of positive as well. And one positive I've seen for a lot of our clients is they start to realize, I can work from home. I can do this. I have a little bit more time. I'd like to do more. I want to start a business. That's all positive stuff. We can help you with those type of things too. But just on a natural sense of just motivation and accomplishing things and fulfillment, you just start to realize more things are possible, which I love.
So true, so true. And my favorite part, you're talking about your favorite part of coaching. My favorite part is where you take the belief, because I believe in you, or many times us coaches believe in you more than you believe in yourself, right?
Yep.
One of our clients, or many of our clients, I've seen these exact words. I hope this works for me. I really hope it works. I can't wait, and
Yeah.
I hopefully will get a home. And then all of a sudden it goes to, holy, I did it, or I'm doing it, or this can happen, or wow, I'm only a few months out. One of
Yeah.
my favorite emails is a graduation email, the promotion email to our pro coaching. Hey, you've done such an awesome job. You're graduating to the next level in the pro coaching, which is so cool for them because, like, holy wow, that passed pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And when
Yep.
they start to take on the belief that I had for them to begin with, that is my favorite part, to where you see them
Yep.
rise up, take action, and start to understand and really grow. And it's just, you can't beat that feeling. It's amazing.
I
I want
know.
to say hello to a couple people in here who've
Cool.
jumped in. I think it's
Gonna
so
have a
awesome that you
little
guys are
my little
here.
monster break.
Monster. Jared is a monster, probably because he drinks Monster all the time. So we
Yeah,
want to
that's true.
say hello to Anthony. Thank you for being on here. Tanya, I know you're on here. Let me see. There's a couple other people in the groups as well. Rebecca, I don't know if it's popping up in my feed or not, so I'm going to go to the side feed here. The goal is to get our heads back above water again after nearly losing one of our six children last year to liver failure. Selling our house at our ICU bedside, we never felt like we could get ahead again. And following your advice, we're hopeful in making such progress, or as much progress. We will have a house by next year. We're just finishing up round
Oh, I
one
love that.
with Jeremy.
I love that.
Awesome, awesome,
That
awesome.
this
That
is
is
this is
incredible.
so positive. I am so happy to be here. I wish I could do this more. I would definitely enjoy this. You know what I mean? Because that's one thing I love about the free credit repair advice group is it's really done something special, because a lot of when we started the group, and Jeremy was in there, and it was Rick, and then myself, and then Mark and Chris, and it's just been naturally growing, and now 70,000 people. There's one thing that everyone has in common:
It's
they
incredible.
all want to do better for themselves, and I've noticed they also want to help others. I've noticed that. That's what I love about our group is the community. I've seen so many people jump in and motivate others. You can do this. Hey, don't worry, stay strong. I mean, that's what it's all about. So, us as credit professionals and financial wellness experts, we're there to provide the direction and provide quality information that you can then, consume and figure out what that means to your situation, how to better your situation. But at the same time, as a community, it gives everyone an opportunity to help build each other up. Like we talked about before, when you take those positive actions for yourself, you get more motivated to do it more, right? That's what I just love about the group. It's so fun, and the same thing with our VIP group with our clients specifically. I've seen so many people keep each other motivated like we do, and I just love that because they're like mini coaches.
Right?
It's
Right?
awesome. I love it.
Well, and
So,
I think people understand that they're not in it alone. When you can find a group with 70,000 people in there who are
yep.
going through a similar struggle. I've heard same waters, different boats, right? The waters are probably choppy. We're all rocking, some rocking crazier than others. But people know where they're at, where they've been, and us coaches,
Yep.
we've been through it too. We're not perfect, right? We have, I think, darn near nearly perfected the financial wellness process. I mean, it just
Yep.
blows my mind how this team operates. But at the same time, I think it's incredible how we have such a great community. And outside of, I got people on YouTube saying, "Hey, rock it out." They're really starting to mix and mingle and really help each other, and that's what it's about. I think it's paving a way differently. I started with a group, what were we, 3,000 strong at that point? 2,000, 3,000. I mean, it was just brand new.
Yeah.
And just a few years later, we're
And
rocking
just
70K.
growing. Yeah, just growing, and I love it because another reason why I love it, the information being provided by Credilife and our team, you can count on. This is not the diet pill. I talked about the dieting earlier, right? This is not a diet pill, because what happens when you buy those diet pills on an infomercial, right? They don't
Right.
work. So, I always like to say, like, for any of you that are like more local, there's Lifetime Fitness, right, which is like a holistic model to like they have like the health and wellness in there and all these different things. That's Credilife in the financial wellness world. When you want to do something right, you go to Credilife. You know what I mean? Because you're going to get the right answer. And yeah, you know what? It's going to take work. Anything good takes work. Anything that
That's
you
true.
gotta work towards, you're not just going to get it for free. You got to work towards it, especially if there's been some bumps along the way. And ultimately it just comes down to understanding, having clarity in your direction to make sure you understand why you're taking certain steps. It's that missing in between that most people face, that they don't know. They're bombarded with information, they don't know what it means, they don't know how to apply it in their own situation. They get frustrated. That's another thing that happens. They get frustrated and they quit. And so that's the reason why, once again, in our group, it's all about providing that solid information that people can count on. And more importantly, if you're in our program, you're definitely getting coached on everything as well. And we're doing a lot of stuff for you. But the education component, I think, is so important because it gives you the why and the clarity as to what you're doing.
I agree with that. And then once again, if you guys are just joining us, Jared and I are talking about basically the action, taking action, and the understanding of the Credilife methodology. We're diving into some of the things that our clients deal with, and our clients are everyday people, right? This is where I really appreciate our clients speaking up and saying, "Hey, this is my situation." I mean, we get real and we get raw, and I think that's something huge. And I learned that from an amazing coach of mine, Molly Mahoney, Jared Havens. They both are some of the most real and raw people out there, and we're real people, and we want to help you guys out. I
Yep.
want to give a huge shout out to Brandon. He's on here. Definitely give us a like. Says, "I trust Mark. You guys should too. He's a longtime friend in the industry,
Love it.
and just a killer gentleman to begin with." And then he asked, "Do we do investments?" Yes, we do. Let's connect, my friend, and talk some more. Great to have you on here. Definitely appreciate that. As you guys are
Yep.
joining us once again, we want to invite you to share your goals,
Yes.
right? Share this stream. If you're on a personal page, business page, YouTube, whatever, just share it out so people can join in here on here, really feel the love,
Yep.
and point them in the right direction. So let's dive into a bit of methodology, Jared, because
Yes.
I love that word. I didn't really understand that word until I started with Credilife, and it is a methodology that just is ridiculously foolproof. So let's jump in that a little bit.
Yep.
And I know we're kind of wrapping into goals and stuff. So
No, it's
I want
cool.
to, I think that let's hear it, Jared. I
Yeah.
want them to hear it from you. They hear me
So,
every week.
so yeah, no, I'd love to talk about this. So, as everyone, quick background on me once again. I am the co-founder and CEO of Credilife. We've been around for over 8 years, and which is a long time in business. It's a lot of businesses fail early. So there's a big props there, and that's because of what we do, our care for people, and all that. But when it comes to our methodology, this is what you have to understand. One, it's about repair. So repairing the past. That's where credit repair comes into play, right? You've gone through something in your life that's caused a negative impact to your credit, and the goal is to help repair as much of that as possible. But one thing to keep in mind, I bring this up because a lot of people bring it up in the group. Nothing is ever guaranteed to be deleted or removed, okay? But there are proven tactics or strategies of challenging accounts and their history in a way that's difficult for the bureaus, or it really comes down to the creditor collection company to verify. And at any point they're unable to, it's then removed off your report. So repairing the past as much as possible. But more importantly, this is the biggest difference. It's about strategically building your credit. Building your credit is your future buying power. I want you to put that together. building your credit is your future buying power, because the more you start building on the positive accounts reporting within your credit report and certain types of accounts and managing them in very specific ways, you are going to maximize your FICO score improvement potential. And at the same time, you're building a credit profile that's viewed upon by lenders in a good way. They feel less risk to lend to you, and they feel more comfortable to give you more. That's so important to realize. Whether you're a business owner and you're wanting something for your business, you want to be approved for a mortgage, you want to be approved for an auto loan, you want to be approved for a credit card, what are you doing? You're asking for money. You're asking for more. So we got to make sure that you're positioned in a way that they feel comfortable to do so. That's building your buying power, building your credit. And at the same time, you have to understand how to manage debt. So there's a few things that fall into this category in our program. Debt settlement. So you guys probably see this a lot in the group. First attempt to remove if it's a collection, then settle. That's that credit repair piece and debt settlement working together very powerfully there. Very powerful. Also, debt management can be one. We said debt settlement. It could also be debt reduction strategies. Maybe you're entering into the program or you're doing this on your own and you already have a debt load and you're trying to figure out how to strategically pay down your debt in a way to improve FICO credit scores the fastest, but also benefit you financially by saving on interest. You know, it does both. Managing your debt properly will do both. It's awesome for your overall financial wellness. And then there's also times we help our clients when it comes to like student loans falls under debt management. Maybe there's a better option in a student loan debt repayment that's going to be better for your goals, your lending goals, as well as yourself financially, right? So we piece this all together. It's a very holistic approach and a methodology that's been proven to help thousands of people. Literally thousands of people have been through our program and have achieved their goals. And it's because of that holistic approach and addressing everything that the credit score is made up of, as well as, once again, getting your credit profile and financial position in the best light for lending. You know, that is a very robust program that we've broken down simply for our clients to work in to achieve and be successful. Because to kind of touch on, I know I'm rambling right now, but I get excited. It's like so many people get stuck. They don't know what to do. And even if they see some information out there, they don't necessarily even know what that means specific to their situation. And is that going to benefit them? Because remember, everyone's situation is different. Your starting point with your current credit status is different. Your financial position is different. Your goals and timeline around your goals are going to vary. You know, so you have to understand that anytime that you're looking to work on that, your steps also need to be specific. What worked for one person here may not work for you. A good example of this, I see a lot of times people bringing up Credit Strong and Self Lender, both great credit building accounts. But if someone has already has multiple open active installment accounts, building positive payment history will always be a good thing. You know, because 35% of your score is payment history, and also length of credit history is 15%. So you're kind of building that out, but really that's time, positive payments over time. So it does help you, but you may not see an immediate boost if you already have multiple installment accounts reporting in a good way. But for people that may have gone through an issue in their past and they don't really have any accounts open right now because maybe they're fearful to open up accounts and didn't know what to open up, well, if we work with them and strategically build their credit, that's a good time for a Credit Strong and Self Lender account, as well as maybe some other revolving accounts. And by doing that, we're now adding all this positive accounts reporting in a mix, and all of a sudden, boom, scores jump up because it was based on your current credit status and starting point and your goals, right? There's all these different things. And so, but when it comes down to the methodology, once again, it's about repairing the past, strategically building your credit to have future buying power, and debt management, meaning how to properly manage debt in a way that's going to better your financial wellness and once again be better for lending. It's all of that. That's the model. That's the methodology.
Dude, that rocks. That rocks. I love that. Um,
So
It's incredible what happens when you have the right knowledge. A lot of it is just knowledge and understanding. I actually talked to somebody with a 760 credit score, and it was a FICO 8 model. He was pulling from a place that gave that information. Now, obviously, we know how credit scores work, and it's not always perfect or exact, but he was thinking, hey, I need to get these two more accounts. Like, should I open the Upwood Sky? Should I open this one and this one? And he had a perfect blend, and he had no clue. He was about ready to drop $3,500 to open up a secured card when he didn't
Yeah.
need it and he had no idea. It was
Yep.
incredible. People with good credit think that they have bad credit sometimes, right? There's always room for improvement. Yes, we can
Yep.
play that card, but he was in a very solid position credit wise and did not know that he was doing so much better than he ever could have imagined.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I love about what we do. It literally can positively impact anyone, literally anyone. What this knowledge will positively impact everybody. I just love it. Um,
Incredible. I want to give a quick shout out to Tony Brock. Thanks for the like. Tell us your goal. Tell us your goal and ask your questions as we go along. I'm going to give a reminder. We're doing some teaching stuff right now. We're walking through the
and then Q and
methodology,
A.
but of course, we always wrap up with a Q&A. That's at least how I always
Yep.
do my lives. Jared loves it. We love those rapid fire Q&A. So I want you to try to stump him. See if you can stump Jared.
Ooh,
He
let's have fun with
knows
it.
probably more about credit than probably forgot more about credit than I'll ever remember, but at the same time try to stump them. So be sure to ask your questions. We love a good Q&A. So Tony, thank you so much for being on here for the likes. Carlo, thank you so much for the likes. Rebecca, thank you again for your comment. And Amber, she jumped on and gave us a like as well. So we
Awesome.
definitely appreciate that. We want interaction. We want to hear from you. So definitely be sure to ask questions as we go along because we're going to circle back to those later as well.
Love it. Love it. One thing I wanted to get into so that way, well, really a couple things. So one, yes, my promise to everyone that's watching this that stays on to the end, we're going to be doing a Q&A so that way we can give you some answers specific to your situation and your questions. So stay on, engage, and then know we're going to be addressing that at the end. But we've had some people jump in and they brought up their goals, and I loved it. Like LaDonna talking about buying a home, and they have the special needs kids and wanting to leave a legacy. Tanya, which I see right here, I want to understand credit more so I can educate my children and my grandchildren, and so that way I don't make any mistakes. Also, business owner wanting to build their credit for business lending opportunities. That's the most important. I just love knowing the goals and the why behind it. Now, everyone that's watching this right now, and I know this may be a little cliche, but play along with me. Trust me, I do this with a lot of my clients that I've worked with. I want you to think about your goals, okay? Really, really think about it. You almost have to, like, literally put your head back and imagine, right? It's almost like we were young and like we used to imagine a lot more things. You got to do it. It's so powerful in this doll. I'm telling you, I want you, like, for instance, you want to buy a home, right? And you have kids. Literally imagine waking up on a weekend in your bed, in your home that you own, and you hear your kids playing in the background. I mean, imagine that. Imagine being able to go into an auto dealership and you want that new car and you can get it. You don't have that fear of knowing, can I even get approved? Am I going to get screwed over again? Whatever those feelings, they're gone because you have buying power. Imagine being an owner of a business. An opportunity is in front of you, and you're able to pull the trigger on lending to help you grow your business. And you're not hindered by credit where you feel overly stressed and overly in the grind mode and you can't move forward as quickly as you'd like to. You have to envision these things. I'm telling you, there is so much power in goal setting, understanding the why, and you have to imagine what it's going to be like when you're there. You have to envision it. And I know when people hear this and see this, they're like, oh, that's like, no, trust me. I've done this for myself and so many things. I've done this with my clients. You have to envision it and you have to be ready to put in the work. As long as you have a plan, you got to be ready to put in the work and you will achieve your goals. I want to talk about, I brought this up. I was working with a client named Kimmy. She's awesome. If she's watching right now, if she sees us either live or later, in the group, Kimmy is great. She's been great since the very beginning. In fact, Mark brought up, in the beginning, there's some comments of, I don't know if this will work for me. I'm worried. She's a single mom, a lot to face, a lot of struggles there. You know what I mean? She works super hard and she's gone through some stuff in her past. You got it. Oh, I love that. Yeah. Thank you for bringing that up. So that was in June 16, 2019. Okay. This is awesome. So check this out. Everyone, listen to this testimonial. This is from the heart. So Kimmy writes this. So I'm up early drinking my coffee and just thinking how absolutely blessed I am to have stumbled across this company. I'll admit in the beginning I was very skeptical because I've been scammed before by Lexington Law, Credit Sesame, and a private local person. But something kept telling me to go for it, and I'm so glad I listened to my gut. I first started at a 447 credit score, and I'm proud to say that I'm now sitting in the 700s and just got pre-approved for a mortgage as a single mom. My coach is Jared Havens. He is phenomenal. The one thing I really always liked about this company is it's very much so a personal family type atmosphere, if that makes sense. You're not thrown into a call center and get random people each time. It's really a very, very personal touch they give their clients, almost like your family or friends. I really can't explain it. He's always there for me and I can reach out to him if needed. But most of all, he has helped me so much more than just the numbers. He gave me my life back. He gave me hope. He taught me you can achieve anything if you put your mind to it. He taught me so much of the importance of your credit and how it's your second lifeline, basically. He taught me how to make responsible everyday decisions. He taught me so much that I'm going to be able to instill in my 14-year-old son. I'm literally in tears writing this because I'm just so grateful and could go on and on. I don't usually ever do reviews on anything, but I wanted to. So if anyone out there is like I was in the beginning, which is skeptical, I promise you this company is where you want to be. They have changed my life in many ways and gave me a self-esteem, confidence that I lost a long time ago. They have heart. They have a free Facebook group, which a lot of you are in, where you can always get experience, strength, and hope from them and many others. I'm in awe and I'm thankful. They have stood by me every step of the way on my journey. That's just like what it's all about. I mean, it's when she posted that in the BBB review. When I got that, I was just like, that is exactly what drives us every single day, is that right there. I want every client and every member that's watching this to know you are not a number. Like literally everything we do at Credilife is to help people for real. Like no joke, for real, help people. And it takes work on both sides. It takes communication on both sides. Yes, we're doing a lot for you, but it's what Kimmy's talking about here, making better decisions, getting closer to your goal, hitting your goals, self-confidence. I mean, all this that I was talking about in the beginning. I mean, this testimonial just really sums it up. I just love it. Absolutely love it. I just had to share that with everyone because I want to empower whoever's watching this, whether you're in the program or not. If you're in the program, stay in it till you succeed. I'm telling you right now, don't allow frustrations and outside frustrations impact your success. Reach out, talk, ask questions, all that. We're always reaching out and giving updates. That's so important. And if you're a member, just know that if you're looking to hire a professional, please reach out and talk to us. And if you're more driven to figure this out on your own, then you got to stay in the group and you got to ask questions and you got to be willing to, no matter what, put in the work.
Love that. That is awesome. And it's really, people get paralyzed. And Kimmy is one of my all-time favorites. She is very determined and was very, very scared in the beginning. I'll
Yep.
say it, she was flat out scared. I signed, and I talk about this all the time because one of my favorites. Sometimes you got to strike when the iron's hot, is what we call it. When people are ready, you just have to grab them by the hand and be like, "We're going. Let's
Yep.
go."
Let's
And
go.
Kimmy was ready. She said, "Are you available in a couple hours or 30 minutes or whatever it was?" And we talked off and on. And I knew in that moment she was ready. I signed her up in an Applebee's parking lot. And just knew when she was ready. We talked 5 or 6 times, but she
Yeah.
was still so nervous and so scared, but her journey was absolutely killer. And this is something that has kind of some language in it, but she said I could share it, so I'll share it again. Holy blank, I'm jumping for joy. Just got a letter from TransUnion, and look at this, only 1 month with Credilife.
Yeah.
The person who was so worried, paralyzed by fear. I did a live especially for her because they say a good coach, talk to somebody in particular. That's
Yep.
how we get our best content is our amazing clients. And
Yep.
I did a live kind of for her. Like I was like, okay, if other people are dealing with this type of fear, or she's dealing with this type of feel. Other people are. We got a huge
Yes.
group. And she got really excited and motivated after that. And it just started coming to fruition so quick for her. It's not even funny. And so then she, popped off with another one.
Yep.
Just incredible. Anyone who suffered from a toothache knows that's the worst, but felt great because she got some great results. Like that
Yes.
is
Well,
just incredible.
and the one
Incredible
thing
to me.
too I'll say about Kimmy is anytime that she, would get a little frustrated, she reached out and asked questions.
Amen to that.
You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
that's the one thing I'd recommend everyone. Don't allow, because I know this happens to a lot of people. These outside things happen that make you frustrated in your situation and you start to second guess what you're doing. I'm telling you, almost every single time that happens and you quit, you're only hurting yourself. You're not making the
Absolutely.
right decision. You have to work it. You have to ask questions so that way you can understand. Because I can tell you this, anything that we're delivering is going to be spot on every time. The difference is that clarity and understanding in between, so you know what you need to be doing and why. And if it takes you a little bit longer to understand that, that's fine. Just keep asking questions. That's what it's all about. And when you do that, because like you saw with Kimmy, she succeeded with flying colors, and she would ask questions until she understood, so she knew what she had to do and followed the plan. We were working in the background repairing her past. Between all of that, look at her situation now. It's just so much better.
I think it's absolutely incredible. I think it's just incredible. And, one of those things I love that you said ask questions because I think people feel like a burden when they ask questions,
Yep.
right? And that's so further from the truth. And
Yep.
we know this because we do this every day and day in, day and out, 12 hours, 15 hours some days. I mean, this is just what we eat, sleep, and breathe. It's
Yep.
awesome to be able to do this. Of course, we play hard on the weekends and have a good time. But, in reality, one
Family.
of
I'm
my
always family doing family stuff on the weekends with my girls.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah,
Having fun.
exactly. That's why we work so hard. I mean, we have goals just like you guys do.
Yep.
But when it comes to asking questions, LaDonna, she probably has some of the most questions in the beginning. Tons of questions. She always, I'm so sorry. I just have this extra question. I'm so sorry. And I told her, don't ever be
Yeah.
sorry. We do this. This
Yep.
is normal to us, but this isn't normal to you. So ask questions. And she asked
Yep.
a million questions. About round two, round three, she kind of got it and then kind of the questions tapered off. But I love the questions because she wanted to make sure she didn't screw anything up.
Yes.
And she got the confidence in herself after asking all these questions to where she feels that she's doing really well. And I know she's doing really well because we see it in her scores. But
Yep.
it was another one, is a great success story because she wasn't afraid to ask questions. I think that's huge. She said I could share this, which I absolutely love this story as well. These were her beginning scores in the first month. These are Vantage scores: 464, 400, 417. 99 points in a month,
Amazing.
45, 78, 99 points. But the thing is, it wasn't just about the points. She was more excited about her profile. Why? Because she got
Yes.
it. She knew she
Yep.
could have great credit with not having a perfect profile or a great score without not having a perfect profile because she
Yep.
understood the holistic methodology. And not to go in too much, but I just think that, some people really soak it up. She said Credilife rocks. More deleted off his credit report than they knew about because they were trying to follow it on their own. I always say, let the dust settle. I'll give you a good update. And that's
Yep.
just what happens. And
Yep.
I think that you guys, one of the biggest things for everybody watching, and of course, ask questions. We'll get to them. I saw that one did come in, Rebecca. Continue that. But I think you guys have to have confidence in yourself and don't paralyze yourself. My coach always
Yes.
says, stay in action. And that is, you can research to the point to where you're blue in the face. But if you get the right information that'll allow you to take action quicker and then just
Yeah.
stay in action, do something,
Well,
reduce the balance on your cards, whatever you can do at the time and where you're at.
yes. Just remember, like I talked about before in our methodology, one, you have to have trust. Trust in the process, trust in your team that's helping you. If you don't understand something, ask questions until you understand. And you don't want to go into it like, well, I'm second guessing what's happening here. And you don't want to go into it like a negative mindset. You want to go in and saying, hey, this is what's happening. I don't understand why. Can you help me understand here what I should be doing and what this means? And that right there, that type of shift in thinking is going to do so much for you. Trust me, because now you're giving context to what your question's about, and you're helping us immediately give direction and how to help you and point you in the right direction and give you the clarity that you're looking for. That's what it's all about. I think that's just so important. So, continue to ask questions. And I want to talk about something real quick, and then we'll open up Q&A. But I think this is a perfect time for anyone watching this. You need to take action now. If you are not taking action, you got to. Because for one, why wait? I mean, think about it. Most people have gone through bad credit, and they kind of stay in that for a while. I mean, it could be years. So dependent on how long you've been dealing with these issues, one thing to keep in mind is this: the sooner you start, the sooner you get to your goals and you better your situation. The sooner you begin and take action, the sooner you get to the other side, to a better life. You don't want to be paralyzed and do nothing. So take action. A lot of times people don't understand fully what bad credit really does. One, we know it limits your ability to move forward with your goals, lending goals. That's a big one. It could easily impact your employment opportunities. You're ultimately just paying more when you have bad credit or no credit. Insurance is based off credit. So literally people are paying more on their mortgage, auto insurance. Auto's a big one. Your insurance, you're paying more by having bad or no credit. I mean, you literally impacts everything. And then when you couple that with everything costing more, rent included, that's when people who are living paycheck to paycheck start to have more money management issues because they're paying more for everything. And then all of a sudden, mismanagement, boom, overdraft fee, boom, overdraft fee, boom, scattered throughout the month. And they're always trying to play catch up. And they think, dude, I'm never going to get to my goal. I have no idea what I'm doing. This sucks. So I'm telling you, reach out and ask questions. Do a consult with Mark. I don't know if you put in your link. Anyone that's
Yep,
watching
it's
this
at the
has
top.
not booked a consult, you need to book one tonight with Mark or whenever you're watching this video. Trust me, the initial consultation is no charge. The consult isn't about getting, let's say, free information. It's not about that. It's for people who want to take action to better their situation, and you want to understand what that looks like. That is the consult. So when you're working with Mark on that initially, he's going to understand what's your situation, what are you going through, what are you looking to accomplish, and let's start laying out what that game plan looks like, and boom, you take action to get started. You have clarity in your direction. You're motivated in your direction. I'm telling you right now, you got to book that consult. If you've ever been on the sidelines, there is no risk to book the consult. Just talk to them. That's all you got to do, and be
Amen.
willing to talk and be willing to open up as to what's going on. And don't have fear either. Don't have fear. Don't be ashamed. Don't think that you can't be helped. I've heard that many times. There is always a solution. That's why I love what we do. The path to that solution and that plan is what we got to create for you. So take action. I mean, I'm telling you right now, you will be Kimmy later and be posting about that if you take action. I'm telling you. So
Without question. Without question. Love that. And yeah, happy to talk about it, see where you're at, what your goals are, and we bridge that gap between where you're at
yep,
now and what your goals are. And if they change, we are flexible to that. And they
yep.
will probably change as you realize all the amazing things you can do in credit. We've got some killer people on here. I want to give some shout outs. Mike
Cool.
Morris, thanks so much for the like. Addison Net, thank you for the like. Appreciate you being on here. Appreciate you giving a like. Rex Samples just joined us in here. And once again,
Awesome.
if you guys are just watching, feel free to ask questions. We want
Ask
this to be a
questions.
Q&A, interactive. We're moving toward that Q&A part. Ashley Bailey, thank you for being on here. Recent client. Love having you guys on here, and we want this to be interactive. So let me jump back here in the comments because this thing has been popping. It's been pretty awesome.
Sweet.
Anthony says, thanks. Things have been great. Now just got to get the retirement. For mom and land, which is absolutely awesome. So, or home
Love
and
it.
land, I guess. He wants a home and land. So great job there. Keep up the great work. Let's see here. Tanya, I'm a business owner and it will help me build more capital when I need a personal guarantor. So she's looking to build up her credit so she can
Yep.
personally back her business. Here's one thing that we talk about in business. We talk about how you don't have to have a personal guarantor all the time, but it sure makes life easy when you know you have the credit to do it.
Yep.
I think that's pretty amazing.
Yep.
Being able to, yeah, you got the credit, you got the clout. Yeah, I'm good. I want a startup loan. There's certain times where you are going to have to back your business, and that's awesome, Tanya. Appreciate that. So let's see here. Let's oh, just came in. There we go. Josh Potter, thanks for joining us on here as well. He
Sweet.
just jumped in, and let me get back to the questions. I got like 5 different layouts, 10 different screens. It's so much fun when
Yeah,
you're
I was
ADD.
wondering
It's
how you're going
wild.
through all that.
It's 4 screens and all types of craziness. It's a blast. Let's see. Anthony says it's great. I love the program. I think that's
Cool.
awesome. Love hearing that. We got heart face or heart facey, I guess you call it. Some love.
Whoop, whoop. Love it.
Let's see, Andy, 380 to 670. It's been
Woo-hoo!
awesome. Love that.
Nice. Love it.
Oh, we got our first question here. Rebecca, we didn't hear back
Cool.
from all your letters. So what happens to those that
I
didn't
love this.
answer?
I love this. I love
Take it,
this.
man.
Okay, so a lot of our clients are bringing this up. So here's what's going on. Because of COVID, some of you may have seen with like the FTC or the FDCPA, one of the two, I can't recall right now, but it's one of them. Essentially, what they did was, along with like the CARES Act that came out for consumers and people, the bureaus and other businesses, specifically the bureaus, reached out and were like, look, we need something here, some leeway in what we're doing. So the way that they kind of put together a plan for them was, as long as you're doing your due diligence and can show that, they were given a little bit of leeway in that legal timeline. But here's what they did. It's not so much that. Now, if at any point you did an online dispute, I'm sure some of you have seen this before. When you do that, you kind of get rid of some rights. One of those rights is receiving a written results by mail. That's one thing that you give away. There's some other things that have happened. So what they're doing is they're purposely picking and choosing when they send out result letters. So in the background, the investigation process is happening. I'm not saying it's not happening. It's happening. The difference is when it comes to mailed responses back to the consumers, that's where they're picking and choosing because that additional workload, and that technically they don't have to do that right now. So that's why people are not receiving results via mail. But that's a big reason why we have all of our clients on Smart Credit, which is a detailed 3 bureau report that we're going to pull at the end of a timeline so we can see all the changes within your credit report between all 3 bureaus. On top of that, in the background with Credilife, I'm already working with the team and monitoring all this very closely, because in the future, if there's any things that we identify that will increase the chances or have more leverage in the investigation process, we're going to be doing that for our clients too. So I'm already mapping that out to see what that looks like, just like we did with the credit flood. A ton of people had a lot of fantastic results with the credit flood. If you go to creditflood.com, that is an absolutely phenomenal. It's still an option now, but just keep in mind that things are a little bit more stable, so it would work, but maybe not have the same impact as it did before. But people that participated earlier saw that impact, and the reason why that came out is we saw an opportunity for you. That's why we did that. Same thing with our program. We're always there to back you up. So that's the reason why you may not have received letters via mail. So you want to make sure you're working with our team. We're going to work off that 3 bureau online credit monitoring to see exactly what's changed.
Love it. Love it. Good information. And a lot of people don't realize that. So they're like thinking that the bureaus didn't investigate their stuff. They're like,
Yep.
oh, I didn't get anything back. So that's great
That's a
information. And that's
huge
usually what happens.
misconception out there. That's a huge misconception out there. So many
Yeah.
people feel like, what, I didn't get their reply. So that means they almost feel like they're owed that reply via mail. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not necessarily true. The legal timeline of that 30 days is when, we initiate the investigation, it's received, the bureaus process that. Then that legal timeline starts when they notify the creditor in question the 30 days, and the creditor or collection company has to reply to the bureaus in that 30 days. It's not that the bureaus have to reply to you in 30 days. That's the difference. So there's a lot of misinformation out there, like talked about before, and it can cause frustration. So I'm glad, Rebecca, you're asking questions, because the more you do that, the more you're going to understand.
And if you are just joining us on this live, we have just hit the question and answer portion. We're wrapping this into the goals and the
Yep.
taking action and the mindset. But we've hit the question and answer session. So I definitely want you guys to ask your questions. I see people are continually tuning in. Johnny Butler, thank
Oh,
you so much for the live or like,
awesome.
excuse me. Actually gave a heart. Appreciate that. Alan Kuhn gave a like. Appreciate that as so much and love having you guys here. So continuing on to the next question. Great answer. Yeah, long story short, bureaus are the judge and the jury on whether something should report for that round. It's not necessarily approve it or remove it. There's people who don't get deletions in the first round, but sometimes a third or fourth. Why? Because you have
Exactly.
communication back and forth. It's not just they didn't prove it. Think about going to traffic court, right? You get pulled over, you go to court, and the officer doesn't show up. Sweet, it's deleted. Or you have a lawyer who knows how to ask the right questions.
Yep,
The cop can't combat it. Boom, it's deleted. So it's a back and forth sometimes. It's
it
not
is.
always right in the beginning. They don't benefit by not doing the investigation. In fact, they can get in trouble for that. So they're not out to get you. They're not out to scam you. And when you have the right company like Credilife helping you follow the right methodology through the right ways, you're going to get further faster without beating your head against a wall because
Yep,
it can get pretty
yep.
wild, can it? Let's see. Tia asked the question. I was looking at the templates, but I'm not sure how or what to put in them. Would this be something we need to book a consult for? Take it away, Jared.
So, okay, so to answer that, I'm assuming you're talking about the credit flood. So the way the templates are created for you is anything in red is what you change specific to your report and what you're challenging, as well as your personal identifying information. So anything in red is what you would then edit to fit your specific situation in your report. But here's one thing I want to bring up. This is why, I mean, this is just one piece to the entire puzzle, right? And so I want you to no matter what keep moving forward no matter what. But if you feel like you're already hitting some roadblocks, I would recommend booking a consult with Mark so you can go through your situation, figure out what the best solution is for you, and then move forward that way. Maybe it's pro coaching with the credit flood. Maybe it's just going right into the core program all the way. Whatever it is, let us instruct you on that so that way you have more clarity in what you want to be doing. But yes, the templates, anything in red is what you should edit specific to what you're challenging.
I agree with that. Yeah, it's and if you're in the actually that's really with the template letters on the Credit Life tools or the credit
Yes.
flood. Basically
Yep.
replacing the
Both.
information. It'll give you kind of
Both.
an example of what you're looking for. Now, here's the thing. These are templates. This is not full on. We're not looking over this and things like that. So we have some die-hard DIYers. These guys will never
Yeah.
give up on the DIY. And hey, if you don't have the funds, whatever the case is, to have us, which we make it affordable for everybody, but something like that, go ahead and DIY. We give the tools and the resources to take action no matter
Yes.
what your social or economic status is. Everybody can do this in some way, shape, or
Yep.
form, and that's what it's all about for us. Let's
Yeah, and
see
I
here.
think
Great. Oh, go
if
ahead.
you think about it, I mean that's the whole point in what we've created here. In Free Credit Repair Advice, we have templates. If you go to yourcreditlife.com and you click on tools, we have free templates and a bunch of amazing free resources for everyone in our group, right? To go off of and ask questions. So that is a free DIY to help you get started and help you gain knowledge and direction. Then we have Credit Flood, which is a more vetted professionally. All of our letters are written by us, but this is additional templates and and there's different things, that different options, different tactics available to you and more. So it's a paid DIY version and allows you to get access to more. But like I brought up before, trust me in this. I know everyone's different, so I'm not here to push you. I want you to move forward when you're ready, but you got to book that consult because you don't know what you don't know until you ask and get direction. Otherwise, you're kind of spinning your wheels sometimes, We all do this in many things, not just credit. And so take advantage of Mark to say, hey, here's what my goals are. Here's what I've done so far. Here's where I'm having issues. What should I be doing? Then you can understand the entire value and what it is that we can do, and then allow Mark to point you in the right direction because then you're making the best informed decision for yourself. I'm just telling you, you got to do it. The credit flood's $47, amazing value. It allows you to get access to the additional templates. You can pull the trigger on that, and that's going to help you in a credit repair DIY program. But once again, if you're not understanding what you should be doing and you know that you're an action taker and you have goals, then I'd book that consult, talk to Mark.
And some people had a gal, she literally wrote every, or didn't write every letter, she, filled it in, printed it off. She had a stack of letters, probably as tall as my kiddo high. And
Yeah.
she said, Mark, there's no way in HE double hockey sticks I'm sending these letters. She said, if everything doesn't, she says, can everything get removed in, what's the probability that everything gets removed in when I send these off in the first round? And I said, 10%, if maybe less. And
Yeah.
she
If
said, if
everything,
there's,
that'd be crazy.
yeah, we've had it happen a few times, but I said,
Yes.
results not typical. And she
Yeah.
said, if I have to write even half of these dang letters, there's no way. She said, I'm paying you whatever you want because
Yeah.
she
And that's
realized how
just
much
one
work it
aspect
takes.
of what we do. Yeah, no, for
Exactly.
sure. A lot of people
I thought it was
realize,
great.
like, holy smokes, I've spent this much time in trying to do this, and it's just one area, and it's like they start to realize, like, all the different things. But and once again, this is not to I don't want anyone to take that information and go, oh, well, then I'm not going to do anything. No, 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 don't do that. You got to choose one of those options I said. Go to the yourcreditlife.com to the tools, start there, ask questions in the group. We have the Credit Flood DIY, more access to more templates. And then once again, it's that Credit Life VIP program where you're really looking for us. So that's for the action takers, people who are goal driven, want to buy a home for their family. They want to, the business owner, they want to get all these different things. Those are the different levels. And you may find that you start at the tools templates, move up to the DIY credit flood, and then move up to the VIP. We've had a lot of people do that. So it's like, just like I talked about before, as you start taking positive action, you start to realize the opportunities, and you also start to value your time more. That's another thing that
Absolutely.
happens, and you realize, hey, I should just work with them so I get there faster. So it's whatever is best for you. We want to meet you where you're at.
That's what I say. We're not here to put you in a worse position. If doing the letters on your own, like I said, you got to balance it out and choose. And I literally 3 weeks ago had somebody start from the very beginning and climb the ladder. They're just like, yeah, I
Yeah.
got to the top, or I did as much as I could, and it's time to call on the big guns. That's totally
Yep.
normal,
Yep.
absolutely normal. So let's see here. Rachel asked a question. If they have the wrong information on file, what's the next step in terms of a letter?
Okay, so when it comes to if it's wrong information, I'm assuming it's probably in relation to like a collection, I'm assuming.
That's what I'm
And
guessing.
so a lot of things that you're going to do when it comes to collection is a direct to collection validation type challenge. And in that validation challenge, you could also bring up the fact that information is wrong. And so that's usually going to be your starting point. Now, if they come back and verify or validate what's being challenged, and you have proof of the wrong information, now you're able to follow up in this respect. In the credit flood, we have a 611 template. That's a perfect follow up to that type of situation that would work with a collection company, a creditor, or even the bureaus, actually. So that would be the two-step process and how you'd want to handle that.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's a great way to go about it. And here's the thing, remember, you think about it in the courtroom, right? If they verified it, how did you verify this, right? You can ask
Yeah.
questions. You can say, "Hey, I want to know how this was done." Right? Here's the thing. A lot of companies either don't send out direct to creditor letters or they don't send out to bureau letters, and that's a holistic approach on them. Not trying to get too much into the letter side of things, but if Wells Fargo sends me an old bill from 2005, and we're talking about something in 2010, well, that don't help nobody. And the bureaus
Yeah.
might just take it as, oh yeah, they send off this letter. Well, yeah, you were once a customer with them. That proves that you might have been a customer.
Yeah, there's a
But is
big
it what you're
difference.
looking for?
There's a big difference. This is why at Credilife in our methodology in the repair side, we do both direct to creditor and collection company letters as well as the bureaus. Because when you're initiating things through the bureaus, it's more of an electronic process through e-Oscar. So you're limited in how they do that. If you think that someone is taking that, reading it, and going, okay, I can see what they mean here, and I got to reach out now, that's not happening. It's all electronic.
Yep.
That's what you're working within. This is why online disputing is very ineffective, because you lose a bunch of rights. They limit you in what you can say. And they're doing that in a way to make the type of coding that the dispute falls under is easier to verify. It's for ease of the bureau and the creditor, not for you as a consumer. So that's why letter base is so important and so powerful. But even then, you're still working within that process. You got to do it there and hit them on the credit bureau side. Understand that that process is more streamlined, And at the same time, you got to strategically hit them direct to the creditor collection company. And this is where you're working with like the FDCPA and stuff like that. The different laws. You have FCRA and the FDCPA, and you're working within different laws to empower you in a different strategy to get the result that you're looking for. And in those type of things, you can ask for more. It's a little bit more personal, I'd say, than the bureau
It
side,
is.
but it's always good to do both.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys are wondering what that jargon is, there are laws that allow you to have, it basically gives you rights to have anything and everything investigated that you ask for. You can ask for anything. Like my dad always said, never hurt to ask. Worst you're going to get is a no. And people
Yeah.
ask, well, what if it's my debt? Well, we're not here to say it's not your debt. That usually doesn't come up. It's
Hmm.
we need to ask the challenging questions to create a situation to where they're not going to want to go through it, or if they do, they can't come up with the right information to get that removed from the report, right? This can
Yep.
all be done ethically, legally, and sustainably, and it just boggles my
Yep.
mind on some of the things I hear organizations out there doing. So let's jump back into some questions here real quick. I think we digressed, so this is a lot of fun. And let us know if you're getting some value from this. Give us a thumbs up, give us a like. Definitely appreciate you guys being on here. And let's see, where
Let me
I
know
need
if
to
you
get
guys
back to
want
one
me on
screen.
again.
Yeah, tell him if you like him. He's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Let's
it's been
see.
a while. It's been fun.
Yeah, we haven't done one of these in about a year, so
Yeah.
it's been a blast. Let's see. Well, I saw that one, and oh, you know what?
I can't
Move over
tell.
here.
I
So
see
many
some of the
things moving
comments,
around.
but
Yep.
not everything.
Yeah, right. Let's see. Kids, let's get back down here. Here we go. Lynette, there we go.
Okay,
What are your
cool.
reviews on Capital One Platinum card? I'm thinking about applying for this card to build up my credit. Thanks.
Yeah, that's a decent credit building card. A lot of times when we're working with our clients, this you want to think about it in phases. In fact, everything that we do at Credilife are in phases. We have three main phases. We have mortgage readiness phase and all these different things that we're doing internally for our clients. But when it comes to credit building, a lot of times people, based on your current credit status, a lot of times you're only working with certain options available to you because of credit. And the reason why I like Capital One in certain cases, if you beat a certain area, is it's an account or a card that can grow with you. They increase credit limits over time. They have a little bit of rewards and perks sometimes, and it's just a better card. Now, what you want to work towards initially is 3 to 5 active revolving accounts in good standing. So revolving being credit cards, secured or unsecured, as well as retail line of credit store cards. Okay. Now, secured cards are still universal cards, but if your current credit status only allows you to do a secured card, that's why you're doing that. So you're putting a deposit down, so it's less risk for the bank or lender, so you can then get access to that universal card. Capital One is great. So I would say, if I had to guess, if you're around, if you're utilizing smartcreditvip.com online credit monitoring, if you're around the lower 600s to a little bit higher, I'd feel confident in applying for the Capital One Platinum. That way, and especially if you haven't burned bridges with them with an open balance, don't apply if you have an outstanding balance collection with them. You got to make sure you take care of those at the right time first, then reapply. But if that's not your situation, I'd feel comfortable to go ahead and apply for that Capital One. Credit One is another good one. I know some people in the group have brought up, I don't really like Credit One, and that's typically based on personal experience. And it might have just been because maybe they had an issue with them and they were, for whatever reason, it was hard to work with customer service. But Credit One's huge. They're big, and they're another great credit building credit card unsecured. That's another good option. Um, Discover is a great option, even if you start with a secured card, because if with proper management, they'll graduate you to an unsecured. And if you really work the repair, the building, and the debt management, like I talked about a few times now, you can really put your credit profile in a good position to have a significant increase. I've had multiple clients start out with the secured credit card that I was working with, that our team and I were working with, and literally when they graduated, immediately jumped up to anywhere between $1,000 to $3,000 limit. I've had many go to 3,000, believe it or not, and that's
crazy.
because we did everything correctly in this phase, usually around 6 months of repair, building, and management, that their credit profile is in such a better position to other credit card companies, including Discover, bam, right? So that's what it's all about.
Bam.
It's like leveling up is what I call it. It's time to level up. If you're stuck, here's the one thing I'd say too, and I know I'm going off again, and we've been on this for a while, but it's like, do not do the shotgun approach. So many people who get excited to build their credit, and they're starting in a lower pool, they're like getting all these account cards that they can get approved for based on their low credit. Well, now you're stuck with all these, most of them crappy cards with high fees, and you're kind of stuck because you don't want to build all that positive length of credit history to only close them. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it hurts you. So you have to strategically level up to get access to better accounts that are much better, have cashback rewards, obviously proper debt management, but it gives you access to those type of things. That's what we do a lot with our clients too, all the time, is helping them get to those things on top of, mortgage and all that.
Well, you're right on the money. I love that because you are paying for results. So I don't like
Yep.
a $99 card fee. People will be like, I don't want to pay $99 for a credit card, but they're willing to pay 17, 18, 20, 25% on a car.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So
It's
we
like,
have to
what?
change our mindset. I'm like, oh, this is just crackers. But the
Yeah.
hardest job that I
Yeah.
have is not the repair process. The hardest job that I have is changing the mindset in people's relationship with money. It's
Yeah.
absolutely crackers what people are willing to do. Like I have people who, willing to they'll put $3,500 or $3,000 or $1,000 on a piece of secured plastic when it could make sense for them to go like a jewelry club route that gives
Yeah.
them a $5,000 limit, but because they can't swipe it, they want nothing to do with it. I've literally
Yeah.
told clients, I want you to throw that piece of jewelry away, and that will still produce great results. And I
Yeah.
remember one, she's like, really? And I said, that's how much I believe in it because we're paying for results. And
Yep.
then I said, don't throw it away, give it to a friend, family, whatever the case might be. Right. But you're stepping stones to results. You're going to pay
Yep.
25% interest till you get your stuff right. There's a gentleman I
Yep.
talked to today. I think I talked about him earlier. He called me up, had really good credit scores, a great profile. He was just young in his credit. He had a 760 credit score, which was still young because he got opened some stuff up later. And what it came down to is he just didn't, have very much time for seasoning, and he was going to open up a bunch of other stuff. But it's one of those things that you just sometimes don't know. And the
Yeah.
interesting thing about that, he said, I've been following you on YouTube, and I opened up the cards that you talked about and stuff like that. None of those were a prime card. No, not a Discover, not a Capital One. This guy has a 760 credit score with
Yep.
subprime accounts. It can
Yes.
happen.
It
Now,
happens to a lot of people who are
yeah,
working on building their credit. I've
they
had a
work.
lot of clients. In fact, I have a pro coaching client that I'm working with, who came on. We just completely rocked out the repair and the core program and everything. And I actually worked with her in a pro coaching one-on-one level for debt reduction. And we got her down. I mean, we literally paid off I think she was close to $10,000 we paid off over time together through strategic debt reduction planning. Now, that's something that at that level is not part of the core program. If you're really looking on debt reduction, even for like really mapping it out, we have a pro coaching for that. But we do debt reduction in our core program too, just not at that level because it
It's
requires a
pretty
lot of time.
intense.
It's
Yeah,
intense, but I
it's
helped her
pretty
do
intense.
that. And then we also worked on some strategic closings while
Oh, that's a good
also
one.
building the better accounts, and we help transition her away from the bad and only having the good. But since we knew that she didn't have any within 12 months any lending goals, I was okay with a little bit of this in the scores because I knew she'd go back up to here, and now she would only have the cards that would make sense for her. But that's like higher level, next level stuff. you
That's where
know
the
our
coaching comes
our
in.
yeah, our core program is in 3 phases. And when you get to that end phase, a lot of times that's the pro coaching graduation phase where we're really now nitpicking all the high level stuff that you could be doing. It doesn't stop just because you got a house. Now, if you want to stop there, that's okay. I mean, you can graduate and do all that. It's very positive, but we could do much more too. So just remember that.
Oh, yeah. So let me jump into this one. This is a good one. I always make multiple payments every month on all my cards, oftentimes paying it to zero each time. Should I be leaving a minimal balance on my cards? I hate paying interest. And then this will tie into the next question I had it up here. Rachel says, can you explain the 1 to 3% on a $300 balance?
Yes.
So here's the thing. The 1 to 3% rule it's so much more than just deletions, right? We talk about card management. I talk about the subscription method. Chaz Eartham, a good power partner of ours, he called it the credit machine. And really what that is spending on your cards just right, not too much, not too little. And that falls in the 1 to
Yeah.
3%. Now, if you're sitting at zero, that card can easily close due to inactivity. Or since the banks aren't making money on you, they can try to reduce that, right? They'll try to reduce the limit. So you do want to
Yep.
use your cards. So on a $300 card, you're $3 to $9. So here, Rachel, I'll walk you through this. It's a subscription method. $3 to $9, $3 minimum, $9 every month. Now, most people don't want to go out and doot and buy a candy bar every month. You're going to forget, or you're going to buy too many candy bars on that card, right? And you're going to go over your $9. What I want you to do is put that on Hulu, Netflix, Dollar Shave Club, anything that's between $3 and $9. My two
Yep.
favorites are Disney Plus and what's the other one? I just lost it. Disney
Netflix,
Plus and Pandora.
Pandora.
Netflix
Yes.
would work on that one too, but most cards, those are always right on the money. And yes, you could do Netflix, or if it's a higher balance card, I've had people put their car insurance on it, their light bill, something
Could
like
be a
that.
gym membership or all sorts of stuff. Yep.
Yeah, so you're doing it on each card, one auto charge per card. Then you're going to tell that card to pay itself off in full every month. So Navy Federal's got your car insurance, your Capital One's got your Hulu, your other card has your Netflix, the Dollar Shave Club. You can manage three universal revolving accounts perfectly by having that happen. It's going to auto charge, then auto pay itself off. You can't
Yep.
get any better than that. It's not going to close due to inactivity, and you can put those cards away. The only time you have to worry about those cards again is like when Jared talks about all of a sudden you went from $1,000 to $5,000 because you did a great job. Just make sure you don't fall below the 1%. Look at it. If
Yep.
it's on the 1%, you're good to go.
Yep. Yep. There's a lot of different
Great
ways that you
question,
can do
Rachel.
it. I think that it's based on your level and your comfort around debt management. We want to set our clients up for success. And so what I mean by that is if you're someone that's working with us in the credit building, like the first phase of the program, and we're doing some repair, some building and all that, the debt management piece, believe it or not, can be very confusing for a lot of people. And so that's why it's, having questions like that, Rachel, is very common. I'm glad you're asking questions about, well, what does that 1 to 3% mean? How do I do that? So that's why what Mark brought up, that's something we do with our clients for a very specific reason. It puts you at the lowest risk to make a mistake, as well as getting more comfortable around debt management and how to manage that card in a way to maximize your score improvement potential. Okay. That's why we do that. So when you put a subscription on there that happens every single month like clockwork, you just need to pay that off in full on or before the due date each month, and it repeats cycle every month. That's much easier to manage. Now, I think Alan before brought it up saying, I use it, paid off, use it, paid off. A lot of times do it to zero, don't like to pay interest. So they're dependent on your situation and your comfort level with debt management. I work with on a higher level with some business owners and stuff that, they use their cards a lot for business reasons. And so, but we're also looking to pull the trigger on business type financing where they're going to pull their personal. So what we do is, this actually factors in Rachel's question too about the due date and the bounce date. So with someone like that, what we do is we make sure that before the statement closing date or the end of the billing cycle, we bring down the balance a few days prior to that date to between 1 to 3%, because then when it hits that statement closing date or billing cycle date, that's when that creditor is going to draft up the billing statement. Here's your balance. Here's your minimum payment due. It might be zero, might be $7, whatever it is, and then your due date is X. When that is drafted, that is the information that's sent to the bureaus and how it shows up on your credit report. A lot of people think it's the payment.
Yep.
Your payment is not what is reported. That's the reason why the first time you have a late is 30 days delinquency, because the next billing cycle hit, you didn't make a payment. Now you have a due date and now it's more, and you're 30 days late. Now it's showing up. That's why. So obviously you don't want to go late, but I'm trying to help everyone understand the strategies involved. Let's see here. It got a little fuzzy there. The strategies involved
There you go.
around that and why, so it really depends on the client, but I can say this with confidence. If you are in and working with us or working this on your own right now, do what I said and what Mark said. Make it easy on yourself. Don't allow risk to make a mistake. Do the subscription method. and have that paid in full every single month on or before the due date, and you're good to go. If you've been doing this for a while, you're one of my clients, we're doing the higher level stuff. That's when we do that strategy surrounding the statement closing date, dependent on your situation. Once again, business owner looking to capitalize on rewards, but still looking to pull the trigger on higher end level funding, lending. So that's why we do that. So it's really situational, but most people fall under that first bracket.
And that's right on the money. That's where coaching really does help because, yes, you do have a statement date, right? You have your due date and you have a cycle window. It's kind of like getting paid for work, right? You work your 40 hours in the 2 weeks, and then they just choose a random date in the middle of that 2 weeks, right? They're just going to say on the, 15th, whatever that is, what's that number? That's what's going to report to your credit report. And like Jared said, a lot of people think that, oh, I paid it off on the due date. You
Yeah.
know that the statement date is about 25 days, 14 to 25 days in the arrears. It already happened.
Yep.
That's why I say set it up on the subscription method, unless you're being strategic, which we have to be, and that's where coaching can help out. That's
Yep.
exactly correct. You might need to strategically do that, but if you are just rebuilding, subscription method was all about because you don't have to worry about
Yep.
statement dates and the due date. All the due date says is, did you pay your payment on time, and are we going to charge you interest for carrying a balance? That's
Yep.
it. It doesn't tell
Yep.
what the balance was. So hold on, we got another couple questions here. Good stuff though. These are great
Well,
questions. Keep asking them.
the one
Go ahead,
thing that
Jared.
I wanted to say is I got to get my daughters ready for bed. I'm a family man here.
Oh,
We've
that's
been
right.
on
Well,
for
we've
an hour
been
and 20
moving.
minutes,
Yeah,
an hour and 20 minutes. Now, I hate to
that's
leave
awesome.
everyone, but here's what I want to leave everyone with, okay?
That's good.
We are here and we want to help people who want to take action to better their situation. If you haven't already booked a consult, you got to book one with Mark. You got to talk to him about your situation. Trust me. I want you to be the next testimonial. I want you, in fact, I work with a ton of our clients. I want to work with you. It'll be fun. You know what I
You
mean?
will
Let's
hear
figure
from
this
Jared
stuff
if you're a
out. You
client, most
will.
likely. It's very
Oh,
rare that you
yeah.
wouldn't.
It's just,
That's
I love it.
awesome.
I'm all over the place just making it happen. But I'm telling you, one, you have to understand what you're going through, and lack of a better term, how much it sucks. I'm sick of this. I don't like this. Here's what I want. Why do I want it? Goal setting. I brought up before, you need to envision it. You got to sit back and imagine. I'm telling you, you got to do it. And then the most important thing is you need to take action. And you need to take action with the right team. You have to do that because if you don't do that, you put yourself at risk from either not fixing your situation or bettering it, or it taking far too long. It's about time. Value your time and make it happen, and understand that this is a positive thing. And yeah, you have to invest in your success no matter what. You have to invest your time, you have to invest your resources. But I'm telling you right now, when you do that, you are going to be happy because before you know it, you're there. You're going to look back and be like, wow, I'm so thankful I did that. So many people we talk to say this all the time. I wish I would have started sooner. That is a
All the
very
graduates,
common thing. So
every graduate.
you got to do it. I'm just telling you right now. Book that. Bookcoachmark.com, MARC. I know I'm kind of plugging you right now, but I want to.
Oh, it's
I
all good. I
want
love it.
to because you're awesome, and I want people to experience that. All of our coaches are awesome. Our entire team is awesome. You work with the coach. You work with an entire back office support team, me included. We have a full investigations division. We have a student loan assist division. We have everything in place to help you succeed. We got the right way to real estate division. You want to buy a home? We're going to help you get there. And make sure to bring this up to Mark. How do you get 1,050 back for doing that? You work within our network. You literally can get up to $1,050 back at closing for achieving your goals. So for most of you, that could literally pay for your program. It's
Happens all the
amazing. So
time.
ask questions, get excited, take action, and I got to put my girls to bed.
That rocks, dude. That was killer. Love having Jared on. Once again, this is, I guess, a once in a year thing because I haven't had him on live. We'll have to get him on more. Everybody, thank you for being on here. It's been great
Thank you.
being on here on this Monday. Once again, as he said, find out your goals, right? Realize your goals and dive into more than just getting a home. You got to take action, right? You have to take action. Now, imagine what that action will bring you. That new home, that new car, your kids not having to walk through metal detectors, you getting out of a bad situation, and continue on to be the best that you can be. Hey, Rise for
Thank
love.
you.
Take care of each other. Love each other. Thank you so much, Jared, for being on here. I will be back on in a week here on Business Credit Mondays at 1 o'clock Pacific time, back on at 8 p.m. Eastern time on right here, basically. And we're just going to walk through and continue to guys provide you education. Now, continue to ask questions no matter where you see it. If it's in the replay, if you're on a podcast, if you're on
Yep.
YouTube, ask questions. We will get to those and answer those because I know there is more. We had a great time with you, Jared. Have a great
Thank
night,
you.
everyone. Take care.